Once again, a Slayers player with the lead. Once again ahead, one map, and here we have into the bottom left of Cloud Kingdom in the red. This is Slayers.
Slayers puzzle.
Trying to make it happen with the 2-0. Trying to do the same thing that MMA just accomplished. Advance to the next round of Korea.
His opponent's ID, top right from Team NS Hosa is...
NS Hoso Seal.
Seal.
And Seal did not play bad on the last map. You know
No.
what's coming, but it's hard to defend against
Very
it.
difficult push to hold.
And what can you do? You can go for run by attempts. You can hope that your opponent left the gap in his wall in, that you can just delay his attack a little bit in order to prepare properly. You can try to surround the army, bait the force fields, make sure that the sentries run out of energy. Try to go for attack strategy. Nest is always very fond of a strategy where he tries to hit a Mutalisk timing against it so that they can pick off all these sentries. There's a lot of stuff that you can do, but it's really hard to hit the right timing
And
to pull it off.
it's hard to switch, you know, before you know it's coming. It's hard to try to go, well, I'm just going to go Mutas now. Like, it only works out if you expect this. It's very difficult to play against this type of strategy. And, I mean, Puzzle executed it so well. And look at this. He sees the probe dancing with his Overlord. He doesn't waste any time. Goes right to the third base. Oh, he's turning around here as the Overlord sees, but this is not this is a mistake. This is actually greatly done by Puzzle. Wow.
Did you see that? That was actually brilliant. He moved into the main base, the Overlord saw it, then Seal moves back with his drone, but he just tries to bait him out, delays the expansion even further. Puzzle moves down the choke point again, and Seal is like, okay, what do I do now? Do I go to the third? Do I try it at the natural? Very, very well done.
Yeah, that was actually extremely skillful how he
Just
did that.
delaying it for another second or two.
I was really impressed by that. Well, Puzzle doing the usual. Forge first and to build everything on 17. Getting the gate cannon. His pylon going up in. Actually, he's not making his pylon his main base. He's going to make it back at his wall. Making another full wall off.
This is, by the way, another great map for the Immortal push.
Yes.
There are a lot of positions that you can claim at the third, where you can even use your opponent's hatch as part of the wall-in, and make sure that your units can still target down the third while your opponent is trapped behind them. He has to try to either run by or engage you at a different location, maybe sec as a third. But this is really, really... it's very strong on this map. It's a very strong push. Now, actually, to me, it's the push that, as a pro, I like this push the most. I think it's the strongest attack on this map against a Zerg player.
Yeah, you know, it's cool to see how these strategies develop. How many different ways Frost have found to attack off the 2 base to punish Zergs. And my favorite one, until recently, was the 4 gateway +1 Zealot pressure.
Really?
But it seems like, yeah, but
I don't really like that one.
Nowadays, I've been trying to do it a lot, and I've been struggling with it a little bit, and I feel like it's expected a lot of the time. And if you're a good Zerg scouter, you're just going to find the pylon and prepare.
And with the timings that Zerg use nowadays for the Roach War and for the Evolution Chamber, they're usually ready with Roaches, so you don't end up in the situation that you kind of want to force, where you're faced with a +1 Zealots, a lot of Zerglings that you can easily kill. So...
I've been liking the Immortal push a lot more recently. It's not my favorite.
What I also like is Void Ray with 4-gate pressure. This is something that I think is also very strong, because as soon as you kind of pressure the queens, the Zerg player has a big problem if he did not prepare in time, because he's lacking the anti-air.
Yeah. That one is very stressful for Zerg as well. That one's a little bit more technical, I would say. My favorite build to watch pro gamers do, man, is the Sentry Drop Blink Stalker all-in. That one is sick, man.
I hate you right now.
That's like the most technical all-in there's ever been. I can't even think of a more technical all-in.
I love the way that JYP plays it on Metalopolis, where he actually
it's beautiful.
Starts with the Stargate and makes sure that he chases away all the Overlords, and there's no scouting possibility, and then moves in with a War Prism. It's a little bit slower. It's actually a lot slower, but it's just so much, I want to say, safer.
Yeah, I guess I can see what you mean. I just love the one where you use the Sentries for vision, you blink in the main, and force shield him out.
Oh, yeah, yeah. You bait him to the low ground. And
that is the best, man. That one, when I see that,
Ace.
I'm like, oh my god.
When Ace did that the first time, it was beautiful to see it unfold, how he baited his opponent to the low ground and kind of faked this gateway attack, and then it's boom, dropping the force field in the ramp, blinking up, and the Zerg is like, Whoa, wait a second. That was like really well done. Had a lot of respect for this one. And just look at it. We have Twilight Council and we have the robotics.
Yeah, and at this point, I mean, he's doing a little bit of everything, I guess you could say, but I'm curious to see what Seal is going to do. Like, obviously he's going Roaches again, but what is his transition point going to be? A lot of players recently have been using Mutas on this map. I don't think Seal is going to be one of them. It's not really his style. I expect a normal Infestor transition from him.
Mutalists are not the best unit of choice in this map. I like Infestors a lot more, to tell you the truth. And I think this is exactly what we are going to see. We have the +1 attack upgrade already for the Zerglings, and he's going for speed. And Mutalist would also be a bad choice because he doesn't know it, but we know about Blink. We know that Blink is on its way, so Puzzle would be prepared.
That was a pretty good Zergling timing for scouting.
Yeah.
That was actually... That Zergling was like, well, okay. He was like walking from a distance. He was like, he saw Nexus. He's like, all right, I didn't even die. I get to go home. I can see my Zergling friends again. I can see my Zergling twin. All Zerglings are twins. Did you know that?
Kind of makes sense, yeah.
They all come out in pairs.
Yeah. We currently have the Overseer, by the way. So with the Overseer, he will be able to scout. I think he moved it to the left of the map. Yes, he did. So he has the option to scout his opponent. He goes for the Infestation Pit as suspected. No spy here. And we have speed for the Overlord stun. He doesn't go for drop, just goes for the speed here. And pokes a little bit. Just pokes a little bit. And it just distracts him. It distracts him with the army, and then he moves in with the Overseer. I like it.
Yep,
But
I like it, but it did not work. There's not much to see anyways.
How much did he see? Did he see the Twilight Council? Did he spot it? I think he did, but I'm not quite sure if he was actually managed to get a win. Yes, he saw it.
You know, the Twilight Council is, I feel, less important than a number of gateways, because I think what he was trying to know is this a fake Nexus or a real Nexus? Because sometimes recently, people with these sentry pushes will just cancel Nexus, go for big attack at third base. Now he knows it's real. He saw very few gateways. Sure, they could have been hidden at the bottom right, potentially, but right now the Infestor timing is pretty normal, getting +2 for his Zerglings. And he's going to continue to pressure with these units.
This game is also getting a bit more dangerous for Puzzle now than the last game. If you try to hit this Immortal timing, you know exactly in which kind of situation you pressure your opponent, and it's very hard for Zerg to react in time. So right now we have this macro game unfolding, and Seal has a lot more options with all the bases that he has, with the macro hatches and all the upgrades that he's getting. He's just able to follow this idea that he already had in the last game, and if Puzzle is not careful, Seal might be able to dictate the pace of the game and dictate how the game is going to run. So he has a lot more options here now.
Yeah, I'm worried. I'm worried about this robotic support bay because he's getting it very quickly. He's scouted very well with his observer when he's facing, and Seal is going to need a Spire pretty soon, because if he just faces Colossi, the +3 is already halfway done. He faces Colossi with +3 with just Infestors, Roaches, and Lings. I mean, even though his upgrades have been going pretty well for him, I think he's going to struggle a little bit.
You could try to counter it out with Neural Parasite, but that usually does not work that well anymore after the range got reduced a little bit. Against the Mothership, it's still a brilliant idea, and against a lot of pushers, Neural Parasite is just brilliant. But with Immortals, you always have the with Colossi, you always have the problem that if you don't get all of them, the remaining ones will take down your Infestors in no time. And especially with Blink, you can't just blink in like 2, 3, 4 Stalkers and focus them down. So here comes the Spire, exactly what he needs now in order to get the Corruptors into the game and also prepare for the late game transition. He's definitely not trying to run with Roaches into the late game. He wants to go for Brood Lords here. All the upgrades that he's currently getting are indicating that the Brood Lord transition is coming. And look at this, we have actually the drop ability. He's going for drop, and I think he forgot it. I think he actually forgot the upgrade.
The way it's looking, it seems that way for sure. He sent a bunch of Overlords over.
Yeah, I don't think you caught it on camera, guys. That we caught it on camera, guys. But we had like how many Overlords are this? 12. Yeah, 12 Overlords at the left side of the map, and he was moving there with his army as well. And it just looked like he wanted to lift them over to the natural, and then he was like, oh wait a second, I don't have drop.
Yeah, then immediately research drop. A little bit suspicious, I would say. We got you there, Six. Got that drop upgrade, I think. These Infestors are looking like they're up to no good, man. I think they may be the first ones to be dropped. That changing also a little bit suspicious. I'm like, Seal? Play legit, man. What are you doing sneaking around?
Baneling Nest now coming up as well as Hive Tech. With the Baneling Nest, he can also try to go for some Baneling drops. They have been very successful at DreamHack. Dimaga used them a lot also against Naniwa, was able to win a game. And now we have the transition for Puzzle. He tries to prepare for Broodlords.
I like Seal's timing here, though. He's going to harass a lot with his Infestors with potential Roach and Ling drops while getting Broodlord tech. As long as he if he doesn't do any damage at all and gets counterattacked, he's going to be in trouble while he's trying to get Broodlords out.
Oh, look to the left side of the map. Wolf, we have him ready. And there they are, Banelings.
Super Baneling drop.
And where's the drop upgrade? It is done. Drop upgrade is done, and this should be the cue for Seal to actually start dropping while the Greater Spire is on his way as well.
And here we go. Oh, he's going to see it. He sees it. Wow, he sees it with the probe. And how is he going to react here? He doesn't know Banelings, though. He's going to split his army into two. But this makes the army on the right side of the map that can come into the third base very dangerous.
And here we go. He's leading the charge, but look at how many cannons
he made.
5.
He already knew what was up
Like,
before he even saw it.
nah.
I don't even know how he knew that. Like, I tried to... I thought I knew what he saw, man, but he...
I think he saw the overloads earlier with one of
He
his
must
observers.
have, because that is insane.
You wouldn't build this many cannons if you don't suspect anything like this.
Oh, there are still 2 Infestors in that Overlord at the south, and he's going to have to cancel this 100%.
Attacking the 4th, very smart idea here. Just trying to keep his opponent on his toes, making sure that he's not taking a 4th base while being able to secure 4th and 5th.
Oh,
very well done.
No, the probes all got boggled!
Wow.
Boom! Oh
Nice.
my god, in total, 24 workers killed full saturation, man.
The
He got him.
Colossus survives.
6 Broodlords on the way. The timings here for Seal are genius.
He goes for it. He actually goes for it. He goes for the natural right now. With all his drops, he's like, okay, I did enough damage
and
already.
this time he's
and
trapped.
If I kill you,
He's trapped. He
doesn't
won't
care.
be able to get out.
he wants to get in. He leads the charge with the Overlords. Nice, without any Banelings. And now he goes in here and he rains terror on his opponent's economy.
Why not pull the probes? I was a little disappointed by that. He could have easily pulled the probes and gotten out with losing no workers.
Another 7. The Broodlords are actually morphing.
They're done. Some of them are already done, and he is in a great position to hold this. There are several Colossi here. He just needs a few good fumbles. Uh-oh.
He blinks in, tries to make this happen. The
Great
Broodlords are
transfusing.
transfused, by the way. And now we have the rest of the Broodlords being able to join the battle. And look at all these Stalkers.
There's not enough, though. There's too many infested Terrans. The Broodlords are releasing their children, and I feel that, honestly, Seal has taken a huge lead here. He may just end this game with Baneling drops.
Wow. Seal here with 160 supply. And Puzzle. I mean,
GG.
there are a
Wow.
couple of words to come to mind, but I'm not allowed to say them here, so. That was well done. Look at Seal. He forces a 3rd game. He played really well on Cloud Kingdom, but he is nervous, isn't he?
Yeah, he looks a bit nervous, but damn. I mean, he actually, the way he played that game was so beautiful with his timings. Yeah, it looked like his drops were researched a little bit late, but everything else that he did was fine. His timing for when to drop while getting the Greater Spire, while moving his creep out, everything seemed to line up perfectly.
He was actually not all that nervous, I think. He was relieved. He was relieved this worked. With his mistake that he made and the timing completely off, he made it happen. He ran in this one engagement, like where he killed 24 probes with those fungals. That was really, really brilliant. That's exactly what he needed. And
That's
then
the moment where
he
Puzzle
moved
had
in.
to attack.
Yeah. If you lose 24 probes suddenly, you have to do something. You have to be aggressive.
And he lost his he lost his 4th base repeatedly. He had to keep canceling that, so he didn't have a backup plan.
And the one thing that we have to point out right now is the 3rd map. The 3rd map is actually...
It's Atlantis Spaceship. It's a massive map. This is very unfortunate for Puzzle. And what is his plan of action going to do? We have seen 2 base pushes like the Immortal push on this map, but it's much harder to pull off.
We have seen Stargate. Stargate play on this map is also something that is very viable. And this is going to be an interesting one. It's not going to be easy for Puzzle. The map is working against him.
Is indeed. See both players look ready. They have said go, go. In chat, it's time. Only one of these two players will advance after today. One of them will be out of this entire tournament. They will be Code B. Find out who it's going to be. The map, like I said, is Atlanta's spaceship. This is the GSL Code A with Counter and Wolf.
I just thought about it. If Puzzle would be a Harry Potter character, looks a little bit like Snape, but it's not that